The National Taxi Alliance says the process of applying for the COVID-19 Taxi Relief Fund has been a bit of a nightmare. This is due to system and process failure at the application stage. Now, the system is always offline, they say, and those who are able to complete their applications are apparently never informed of their status. Now, last month, Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula opened the application process of the 1.1 billion rand fund. For more on this and for some feedback, we're joined by the National Taxi Alliance's spokesperson, Theo Malela, who joins us from here in Johannesburg. Theo, thank you so much for your time this evening. And I remember this fund was launched with much fanfare just last month, and this comes after many months of toing and froing between the taxi industry and the transport department. So there was much relief when the news came through that the fund had been finalized and it was now open. But it seems there hasn't been much good news since the application process started. Tell us what some of your members are experiencing when trying to access the application system.
Well, good evening to you and to the viewers out there. Basically, the members are finding it difficult, one, to actually book appointments with SARS via online. That it takes forever. Secondly, the telephone line, the toll-free number at the center has been showing them flames. I think on Friday they couldn't access, and Monday as well. Every time they tried, they wouldn't get through. And another issue is that of vehicles that were actually manufactured before 2008. Those vehicles do not have operating licenses as per the taxi recapitalization program. And as such, those vehicles also, provided services during the hard lockdowns. And the owners of these vehicles were also under the impression that they too were going to be given some assistance by government by virtue of, providing that service, only to be told much later that that was not going to be possible unless they showed, their operating licenses. But at the very same time, even those that have operating licenses, not every, vehicle of theirs is actually captured on the system. And then the other issue is that of the people manning at the center, they are not quite knowledgeable, in that people are not being given, information appropriately. Some members, when applying for, deceased members of the industry, they are told to bring in affidavits, whilst others are told to go get letters of authority. So it is just a cocktail of, issues that are expected from people, and these people are not able to can provide these, promptly. So we basically are saying that, instead of a government, rushing, steaming ahead with this, whilst knowing very well that there are challenges, especially around the operating licenses, they should, consider perhaps even extending this, because the systems have not been, up to peak.
Have you or your organization reached out to the Transport Department to give them this feedback? Because obviously, when a new platform is launched for something, you expect there to be some issues and perhaps some troubleshooting that is needed. But it's been some time now since it's launched. Have you had any communication with the Transport Department about these struggles?
Well, we've only raised these as we are communicating this to your good self, because we've been getting calls from all over the country. We've been inundated with calls to assist in this regard. So we too also got into the system, tried calling, and we're frustrated to get an OTP number before you punch it. The system is down. Yeah, but we are, as I said, we engage in a government. We want them to reconsider their stance with regard to the process.
So you want them to reconsider their stance. Obviously, you would also like any kind of deadline to be moved to ensure that people have enough time to apply. Have you discussed amongst yourselves what changes can be made to the process to try and make it easier for your members to apply?
Look, first and foremost, the minister is aware that not all taxis have been issued with operating licenses. I mean, this is maybe one thing that he should have picked up from the very get-go by merely looking at the data at his disposal, that the data does not speak, the reality on the ground, and therefore what could be the cost. And clearly this is primarily because municipalities who are in direct competition with the taxi industry have been given the right to give concurrencies when taxi operators go and apply for their operating licenses. They would then deny you that operating license by saying that there aren't sufficient ranking facilities or parking facilities.
Theo, could I just come in there? I just want to ask you from some clarity. When you say that the municipalities are in direct competition with the taxi operators, what do you mean by that?
I mean that the municipalities operate buses, and now they are then given the right to allow for the issuance of the operating. Apply for my operating license. I apply it at the provincial level, but then the province then gives that application to the municipality for the municipality to give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And in most cases, the municipalities are giving us thumbs down. We're not getting any operating licenses being issued. So this has been ongoing for many, many years. This is not something that is new. The department is pretty much aware of this. These are things that perhaps the minister has not actually shown an appetite in trying to address.
Okay, and it does seem that there is a lot to address. We're going to leave it there for now. That's Theo Malele. He is the National Taxi Association spokesperson. Some serious issues there with the application process for that all-important COVID-19 relief fund for the taxi industry, and many of them reporting problems in trying to access that program. And I'm sure they're hoping to be able to iron out those issues sooner rather than later.